Hi, ladies, as you're all joining. Welcome in.
Hi, Sarah and everyone.
Hi, friends. Courtney and I are so excited to lead this with you tonight. We'll give everybody just a minute or two to shift in and click their buttons, and then we'll get started. It looks like someone is perhaps not in the correct breakout. A new member, Katie Marr. Okay. Well, Katie, let's figure out how to get you back into where you need to be. Okay, Katie, I'm gonna reach out. Pardon me for texting, excuse me, but I'm gonna text Christy LaHood because she can get you where you need to be. And in case anybody else is in the wrong space too, for the record, we're recording everything, so just in case you'll have the chance to listen back. So Katie, you're just gonna get a preview of what it will be like next year, I guess. I've let Christy know, and hopefully we'll get you shifted over to where you need to be. And for recent active members, yes, it is. Great question. This is for general members, people who are active general members, people who are not new but are not seasoned or new leaders. So if you are part of a committee, this is a great place for you. Well, looks like we may have had a few more people coming to join us, but we'll give us another maybe couple seconds to get started, and then Courtney and I will introduce ourselves. I'm so sorry. No, we're having a little trouble here. Sorry, Courtney. We can't hear you. I'm gonna unpin. Okay, maybe Courtney, if you want, you maybe try to call in. Well, thank you all for being patient. As Karen said, you know, this is going to be a different new year, and we are just learning and trying new things. I'll just get us started briefly as we try to transition. So Courtney, Raup, and I are so excited to present with all of you tonight. I'm the director of training this year, and Courtney is director of membership, and we are just trying to get Courtney's audio on and trying to figure out what that is. Just for some reason, we can't quite hear her, but we do want to hear everything that she has to share. So thanks for being patient. Hillary, if Courtney leaves and rejoins, might be able to hear her. That would be helpful. Why don't we try that, Courtney? Nope. Might not be able to rejoin the group. Hey, Christy might be able to re-add you. Thanks again for being patient. Not the first time that anyone on this call has had hiccups with Zoom, right? If there's one thing we've learned since March, it's that Zoom is a whole thing. Well, I think that Courtney has perhaps logged off. She's going to give it a try to jump back on. But just to get us started, thank you all so much for participating. We're so excited to have you. What we're in for tonight during our kind of breakout session, Courtney and I will be presenting on making the most of your league year. So as Karen said earlier, before we broke out, just staying connected and that you matter. And that's what Courtney's and my hearts are for tonight, is that everyone matters. When this organization started, there were only 50 members. Now we have upwards of 1,400, and every single one of us plays an important role. And so Courtney and I are excited to share with you a little bit tonight about what does it look like to have a year that matters? What does it look like to make the most of your year and to have a fulfilling year? So that means
now.
Hey, perfect, that worked.
Okay.
You're back, great.
Hello, everyone.
Yes.
You might actually wish I was muted here in a minute. So
No, you're great. Courtney, while you were out, I just was kind of introducing that, as Karen said earlier, stay connected this year, you matter. And I said that we've had, when our organization was founded, there were 50 women, that was it. And every single one of them mattered. And today it's the same story, 1,400 plus women, and every single one of us matters. And yeah, so I haven't introduced either one of us yet. Maybe I should. Courtney, I'll let you start with yourself, and then we'll switch back over to me.
Sure. I'm Courtney Raup, and I'm this year's Director of Membership. I'm really excited to be here for our July GMM. We've been working since January on this, and so it looked a lot different back in January, and there was definitely going to be wine, so I hope everybody's poured themselves a glass if they haven't. Good.
Great, and thank you all so much. And I should also acknowledge to Tiana from our General Membership Committee is on the line to monitor our chat, so thanks Tiana for your help tonight. I am Sarah Kosey-Shiles. I'm the Director of Training this year. So between Courtney and I, we really do represent kind of the heart of our league, that we just want everyone to, is it even a GMM without a little bit of wine? Yes, Allie, you're out kind of girl. So I think we're so excited just because this is the heart of our organization, and members and growth through training is what we're all about. So with that being said, pardon me as I shift over to my PowerPoint and we will get rolling for our evening. Okay. All right, can everyone see my slides?
Nope.
Nope, not yet. That's okay. We'll get there. Okay, how about that?
Yep, we're there.
Excellent. Well, thank you guys very much again for participating tonight. As I mentioned, that Courtney and I are here to share with you about making the most of your league year. And, to start off, Courtney and I are always here as resources for you, no matter what. We want to make sure that you are growing in the way that you want to grow and gaining what you want to gain throughout your membership. So never hesitate to call, email, anything. Courtney and I both are here for you all the time. That being said, we'll start off. So what tools are available for a great league year? So I want to introduce you to 2 technology tools. If you haven't had the chance to explore, these are really kind of the keys to the kingdom when it comes to Junior League. So first of all, we'll want to introduce that Digital Cheetah app. So we saw a lot of chatter about that starting off our DMM tonight. But if you'll maybe make a note to do this after our conversation tonight, but download the Cheetah app. So many options here, and as you can see, this is kind of the main menu. One of my favorite features is contacts. So if you're ever thinking, oh my gosh, I'm running late for a meeting with this person, or I think there's somebody on my committee who could be helpful with that. All you have to do is pull up your contacts, and essentially it adds all of the women in the junior league. It's just like you had them all in your phone. So you can text anyone, email anyone just from that app, which is so handy and really helpful. You can take a peek at the calendar and see what's coming up. You can register for opportunities. You can click that little, it looks like a little Saturn planet to access the website. You can send an email to your group, your committee. Gosh, there's so many different features. So I would encourage you to download that, take a look, dig in. There's so much. It's a great opportunity to get a lot of questions answered. Same thing with jlkc.org. We've got a ton of great resources on the back end there. If you're not quite sure what to do for your role, we've got policies and procedures outlined there. You'll find opportunities to register. It's just kind of a, if you've got a question, the answer might be there. So it's a great opportunity for you to take a peek.
I will add to the Cheetah app too, that is going to be, we're moving to no more, like that's the only way that you'll be checking into events from here on out. So from a membership perspective. So everybody does need to have that Cheetah app if possible.
So much easier than signing a piece of paper and wondering what happened, right?
Yep.
Great. Well, ladies, thanks again for that. Make that your homework tonight if you don't already have it downloaded. So our next question that Courtney and I are excited to answer, what can I do if I don't know? And that's something that many of us have experienced throughout our lead career. First of all, if you don't know, you're likely not the only one. No question is stupid. Many questions that you have are probably questions that someone else has. So ask. Reach out to your committee chair, reach out even above your committee chair, your director, reach out to anyone who you think might be able to help. One thing that I think is a really common point of confusion, I call it the junior league alphabet soup. We tend to use a ton of acronyms. Even tonight, what we're at is the GMM, meaning the General Membership Meeting. I was jotting down a couple notes earlier. AMR is your volunteer shift, MAL, member at large, CVNG, committee volunteers and grants. We can go on. Courtney and I could probably spend 10 minutes listing all these out. So it's common not to know. And if you don't know, ask. And if you do know, share. There's probably somebody else on your committee who doesn't know. So feel free to share, share the knowledge. Everybody at the Junior League is always happy to help, and we are all friends here. Honestly, don't be intimidated by hierarchy. Feel free to reach out and start conversations at all levels of leadership. From Karen, even as the president, she is an open book all the time. So how can we contribute and stay engaged is another important question. So this is another interesting thing based on our kind of weird year doing Junior League within a pandemic. But I think that all these things apply no matter what, whether we're live or we're digital. Be on time. That helps us to make the most of the time that we have, whether we're meeting live or not. Volunteering in the community, especially, that helps you to give the most that you can to those you're serving. Be where your feet are. That essentially just means to be present. We all have so much going on. We know the Junior League is just a tiny slice of our life pie, but put your phone down. Be present. Avoid distractions if you can. We've all got a lot going on, but you're going to make the most of this experience if you are where your feet are. And so just to be focused. And we know that it's tempting, but if you've got a meeting that's 2 hours, gosh, make the most of that, right? Another thing that Courtney and I have identified that helps for contributing and staying engaged is starting conversations early. Reach out to your committee chair if she has not already reached out to you or your director to say, what do you want this year? What do you need this year? Speak with your leader because she'll want to hear it. And then also to speak with your fellow committee members about what's going to make this the most fulfilling year combined. Make a plan and start those conversations early so that you can take advantage of a great year. It's only July. You've got plenty of time to make this a wonderful year. So start those conversations early. Another thing to take into consideration, take advantage of Junior League opportunities besides your placement. The league is so much more than just your placement. many more opportunities. Everything from trainings to ALCS, which another alphabet soup. But ALCS stands for Advanced Leadership Certification Series. And this is a graduate level program that you have access to through UMKC. Just because you're part of the junior league, which is so cool. So by the end of this year, you could earn a certificate in advanced leadership. That's just one example of the advantages that you're given throughout the league year. Earlier tonight, we had the opportunity to hear from a renowned professional in the world of diversity and inclusion. Don't miss these cool opportunities that we have. And then even too, just to engage from a fun perspective. Dinner clubs are really fun. We've got book clubs. We've got all kinds of activities. Don't miss all the fun stuff. Your placement is just one facet. And then Courtney and I actually planned out this presentation before COVID happened. So we added something new. What does it look like to be digitally present? Because we know this is a whole new world. Choosing video on as often as possible. While it's very tempting just to call in and listen, you don't get that full experience. And we are so excited for the time that we get to be back in person again. And if we can see each other's faces on video now, we get to see the same faces live, hopefully when it's safe. Actively take notes too. So at the end of the call, you've got ideas of, hey, this is what these are my questions, these are my takeaways, my follow-ups. And then following up with one-on-ones. If there's a woman on your committee or on your team that feels like someone who you might click with or someone who you might share something with, or maybe you could have an interesting dialogue, gosh, please reach out. I think, we can all attest to, friendship usually starts with one person, right? To build a friendship, somebody has to start it. So I have a little bit more to share, but I'll just take a quick pause and see if we have any questions in our chat. Okay, nothing for right now. That's great. Feel free to ask if anybody has something. Okay. So something else very important to share. How can I feel like my efforts matter? How do I feel like I make a difference? Our league is strong because of you. You are needed. Karen said it. Courtney will say it. I'll say it. You are needed. You matter. This organization is not the same without you here. And we can't say it enough. We're thankful. We love you. We need you. And I know that you would say the same about all of your fellow members. Another item that helps to feel like your efforts matter is to lean into active communication. There are no small roles. And the way that you can amplify your voice is to communicate actively. Be more than a recipient, more than just on the receiving end, getting information and filing it away. Act on that information. If you have questions, voice. If you have ideas, step into that. The best ideas sometimes come from the people who are paying the most attention. So take advantage of the opportunities that you have. Another important item to focus on is that your junior league career is a jungle gym, not a ladder. So we often think in the professional world that, you start entry level, you grow, all the way up. It's a stepping stool. It's a ladder all the way up to the C-suite or whatever your ultimate goal is. But the junior league, in contrast, kind of is flexible based on your life. You get to pick what fits best for you. We know that our lives change, our worlds change, and what we need each year from this organization changes. So you can spend 1 year on the board of directors and the next year volunteering with Wayside Waifs. And then the next year you can be a committee chair. And the next year you can do something called Active Gold, which is something you get to do after several years of membership. It's a wide variety, and it, like I said, jungle gym. You can step up, step down, pivot left, pivot right, whatever works for you that year. So know that too, that what you're doing this year doesn't have to last forever. We hope you love it. We hope that you want to do this role so much, but in case it's not the right fit, know that your efforts matter this year, and also next year can look really different. And then also, there's a lot of power in saying a kind word and spreading the love. So I said it incorrectly. Not GMMs, it's GEMS, G-E-M. And this is an award that you can give to anyone. Anyone can give to anyone who's done something above and beyond. Someone who has maybe helped you, someone who has just kind of taken things to a new level. You can do this through going online on the JLKC website. You can go to tools, forms, and then membership, and you'll get to the GEM award form. So it's very easy to share the love in that way, and to help other women, excuse me, I had a shift in my window here, help other women understand that they matter too. That's half the battle. If you want yourself to feel like you matter, sometimes it's important to share that love. So just a few tips for you to make the most of your year so far. I'm going to hand it over to Courtney for the rest of our conversation, but prior to, does anyone have any questions so far? Okay, excellent. Well, Courtney, it's your turn.
Okay, hi. So what if I'm not satisfied with my placement? First of all, don't give in to a bad experience. And when we say that, just ask yourself, like, is there something you can do to change it? Or is there a conversation that you can have to bring your experience back to life? For example, talk to your committee chair. If it's a problem with your committee chair, go and talk to their director. And also, part of my job as membership director is to make sure that everybody is having a great year and is happy. And so you can always come just directly to me. Sarah can attest to the fact that I love to talk on the phone, so never hesitate to call. You can, and that's what, you can always change course. So we do have a deadline for changing your placement. If you're not happy, it is in November. I can't fire off that exact date. I thought we had it on this slide, but.
Oh, it is November 24th, Courtney. We had it in our notes.
Oh, in our notes. Thank you. For some reason, I can't see the notes. So
that's okay. That's presenter view, so I'm just being fancy.
Yeah,
November 24th.
So yes, so November 24th is the deadline for that. But also I encourage you before you're quick to change your placement, because as we know, this is a different year for everybody involved. I just encourage you to try and work through it first, and just know that there are so many people that are here to support you, and myself being one of them. Because I couldn't be in two places at once this evening, I did a video for our new members, and the 3 words that I gave to them, that we are going to be really resilient in this year, is flexibility and giving each other grace, right? Because that's what this year is just going to be. And I think that we're all going to come out with a lot more resources in how we can give back to our community and how we can connect with each other too. So next slide, please. What does it look like to have a good year? So you might be asking yourself, well, I didn't have a good year last year, or I don't think I did, or whatever. First, you want to go into your year with goals. So what do you want to achieve through your placement? How do you want to grow? Are you looking to build a resume in your professional life, or are you looking for an outlet from being at home with your family all the time? Or are you looking just to build up experiences within the league so that you can become a leader in the following years? So just knowing what you want to do, and there is no right or wrong. That's what's wonderful about the league. It's all such a personal experience, and you get to create great experiences with other people as well. Allow for flexibility and know your options to fulfill requirements. So what I mean by that, especially this year, we have to be flexible, right? We're going to do our best to have our calendar of events out as soon as possible. We're going to, everything that we plan this year is going to have a virtual option as well. So when we say on here, make a plan, it's always nice to pull up that calendar, look ahead and say, hey, I have things are usually light in December anyway, but I know that I have my kids' Christmas program, and I know that I have my work Christmas party, all these things. December may not be then the best month for you to try to fulfill requirements. And same thing if you have school-age children in the spring. You've got field trips, you've got graduations, all those types of things. But again, we're not about checking the boxes. We are about member experience and like helping our community. And so don't ever feel like your job is to check the boxes in this organization. We are a member-driven organization. And then make your league career fit your life. Don't ever feel like you have to go on to a leadership position if you don't want to. Don't ever feel like you have to be just a committee member if you have a really daunting job and you travel a lot. It does not mean that you cannot be on the board or be in a leadership position. Again, like, I'm just gonna, like, people will get sick of it. We are a member-driven organization, and make your league career fit your life and your personality. It is about you and our community. And if you want to be here and be a part of it, we want you here and to be a part of it. Next slide. How can I feel empowered to belong? You're not just a spectator. You're not here just to listen. You're here to contribute. It kind of just goes back to all of the things that Sarah and I have been saying. Your ideas are valued and you matter. You're valued and you matter. This certainly isn't meant to be like a kumbaya, all hold hands, everything's wonderful in the junior league, because we know that that's not always the case, but it is important for everyone to feel like they matter and like they're valued, because the reality is that, I mean, the junior league is a super important part of the Kansas City community. And you can't look at very many organizations around the Kansas City area that the junior league hasn't touched. And it's pretty incredible to be a part of that. And so
Absolutely.
Be a part of it. Be a part of it.
And just to echo Courtney, what she's sharing too, sometimes it's about your mind frame. Just remembering that you are an important part of an organization. And when you feel yourself, which we've all felt this, right? Any organization we're part of, whether it's, in college, professional, anything, we've all felt, sometimes you feel frustrated, but remember to put on that mind frame, put on the glasses that you do matter.
Absolutely. How can I make friends in the league? Dinner club is a great way to make friends, and you'll be hearing more about that in the coming weeks. Obviously, you might be wondering, how are we going to do dinner club this year? Well, we are going to put on our happy faces, and the dinner club ladies are going to go forward as planned, and it'll be left up to the individual groups as to what they feel comfortable with and what they want to do. That'll be awesome. Plan safe, socially distanced events. Go to a park and everybody sit on their own blanket, or do a patio happy hour at your house or at a restaurant, anything that you feel comfortable with. And then staying connected digitally, obviously with virtual happy hours or GroupMe. Marco Polo, I don't know if anybody does Marco Polo. That was brand new to both Sarah and I over COVID. Karen Sirkovich, our president, she is obsessed with it. And so she formed the Marco Polo group, and it lasted for like a good 3 weeks. And then I think that everybody was like, I don't have any more, because they're like little videos you send back and forth. And I'll tell you a funny story about Marco Polo, and then I promise I'll be quiet, but I was afraid. I really didn't know anything about it. And I was watching somebody's Marco Polo, and I had just gotten out of the shower. And I started to freak out because after the video's done, it automatically turns the camera to you, like for you to start recording something. And I thought that it had started recording and like literally had just gotten out of the shower. And so I started texting my friend that does a lot of Marco Poloing, and I was like, please tell me that like when it says that you're live, like people can watch you live when you're recording. Anyway,
No,
it's never live until you hit the record button. So don't worry if you do it while you're
just embrace the chaos sometimes. Like, this is a weird year and we're all going to remember this. And gosh, you might just make your best friend through all of this chaos, right?
True. Okay. What if there's conflict? Again, this kind of goes back to that first slide, but reach out to your committee chair or your director for conversation. And then, of course, just always assuming the best in each other. You know, we all are operating under immense stress too this year. Just uncertain times and everything's different. And so just always assume that people have the best intentions and the best interest of the league. And I think that goes a long way. And once you can get in that mind frame, I think that conflict always is a little bit easier to handle.
Absolutely. Go.
So yeah, now we'll just we'll open for questions, and then both Sarah and I's information is below.
Yes, so. And I stopped our slides so that we can share back through our gallery. Would love to open up for conversation. What questions does anyone have? How can Courtney and I be resources for you? Anything that popped up throughout the conversation? We're here to help. We did have a question about checking out. So as soon as this is wrapped up, we'll do that.
I don't think you have to check out though.
I think we might need to. I'm not 100% sure. Again, we'll just try our best. I just got a little notification on my phone that says, don't forget to check out when leaving.
Oh, interesting.
So I think we may.
I did not.
You know, it's a new world. We're all just learning. See? The alphabet soup point. Oh, there's a good question.
For AMRs. Yeah, you know, yes. That's, we don't really know yet. I'll be completely honest with you. There will be some opportunities, obviously, to do some AMRs, not necessarily virtually, but, you know, thank you letters always have to be written. To donors and things like that. And we're also, we're looking into different ways that those can be filled. And obviously with a new format of Holiday Mart, there are going to be behind the scene things that have to be done with some of the different ideas that they have rolling about. So again, I mean, it's all kind of a rolling process, and nobody's going to be held accountable to something that doesn't exist, right?
Definitely. And don't forget about C3KC, which is typically held in March. You know, fingers crossed. It feels like maybe we might be turning the corner with vaccines, so you never know what March could look like too.
And we'll have a Take 5 event as well too.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. So we'll have a lot to look forward to.
Which is moved to April this year. So.
Yes. Yeah. So more to come on that. I'm just scrolling back up a little bit because we've had some good questions. We have not heard from our committee chair yet. Is there a date that this should happen by? Unfortunately, well, that's not quite right. I should rewind me back. You know, we're all human. Hopefully you should have heard from your committee chair by now. If you have not, this is a good opportunity to reach out to her. So if you know that your placement, you can take a peek again, as Courtney and I shared, with your digital tools. Look in your Cheetah app, or look on jlkc.org and take a peek about who your chair is, and feel free to reach out to her. If you know what council you're on, you're also welcome to reach out to your director, and we can certainly help you With all the craziness of this year, we're still placing a few more women. Courtney and I just spoke yesterday about another member that we're trying to get placed, and so thank you for your patience with that. But feel free to reach out and be proactive in that way. Courtney, is that an appropriate response with that? Anything else to add there?
No, not at all. Absolutely. And Angie, I misspoke. I did not mean to say Holiday Mart is canceled. While the traditional Holiday Mart is not what we are looking at this year, that's what I meant by they are reimagining it, and there are going to be other opportunities for AMRs. We just don't know what those are going to look like.
Absolutely. There's a question about what type of training opportunities can we look forward to. So one of the best things about training is that it's easily adaptable to virtual. So our hope is to have as many virtual events as possible. And then once it's safe, to gradually transition back into live. So unfortunately, we may not get to have as many hands-on tactile. So maybe the cookie decorating, this may not be the year for that. But we have a lot of mid-year trainings planned. So my goal for my council and for all of the trainings this year, my theme for the year, Courtney shared hers, is building leaders. That's our goal. You can be a leader no matter what. If it's a leader in your home, your workplace, a leader in your life, just leaders of all kinds. So that's kind of our hope and our heart this year. We also do have a very special emphasis placed on diversity and inclusion and have a number of trainings planned in that direction. So it's going to be a great year ahead, so continue to monitor that. We're also thinking about some fun things with maybe like a movie club, since all of us are binge watching things. Why don't we binge watch a documentary that will help encourage us and grow us, and then have a virtual get together about that. Reading a book, maybe listening to an audiobook or something like that. So we're thinking very creatively. Appreciate that. That was a great question, Jennifer. Thank you. Bridget said, my hope for this league year is to connect with women in the league, not just during events, but outside. So if you're interested in making new friends, contact me. Well, hey, Bridget, BFFs, I'm ready to be your friend too. We're relatively new to KC. It's been a struggle. Bridget, if that's helpful, I joined the junior league about 6 months after I moved to Kansas City back in 2013. And it was an amazing decision. And that was where I met most of my friends. So I hope that you find the same experience. Courtney, can you see the chat? I'll let you kind of answer back in maybe a little bit.
Yeah, I answered one. It said,
Apple Calendar going to allow us to sign up in advance?
Yeah,
yes.
It's not necessarily going to be any further in advance than things come available, because the app is linked with jlkc.org. So it just makes it a little easier, perhaps.
Jessica, 847 is Chicago area code, right? I'm from the Chicago area, so I just saw that. Cool. Well, hey, everyone, this is so fun, and this is a good example of how digital connections can make friends. So I hope this is fun. Any other questions that Courtney or I can answer for you, or if we can't answer, we can get you connected to those who can answer.
Well, if you think of anything else, feel free to reach out to us through email or text.
We are so excited to have a great year with all of you, and thanks again for participating. What a great day and what a great evening, and I hope that you guys learned a lot, and looking forward to supporting all of you this year. Have a great evening, friends. Don't forget to check out too. You'll notice a little app on your phone, and if you don't, it's okay. We'll figure it out. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, ladies.
Bye.